after Google had acquired Apogee, I spent a few years transitioning the business and growing the business while I was at Google. And I really thought that I would stay at Google forever. I mean, if you're a technical person and you're solving intergalactic problems, that's awesome. But I felt this pull to to go off and try to create a durable business, right? And that was something that just felt like it was pulling me towards going off and doing that. So I decided to go off and try to go back and build something very durable. I was lucky enough and humbled enough that there were lots of different opportunities out there. And so I had a chance to create a criteria. And the criteria was fourfold, but the most important thing was durability, which is a combination of P&L and culture and bringing it all together. Business is growing very rapidly, right? And the results are visible. We just raised a round of funding, right? And Goldman Sachs was our lead investor. So lots of really good things happening, right? And I'll just recap them. We have a phenomenal community with the Apache Cassandra and Apache Pulsar products. We have a core product, which is a self-managed product that many large businesses run on. Many large, right? There are companies like Verizon that run $100 billion business on us, right? So that is very successful. And then we've deeply innovated a cloud product, right? And it is serverless, has some great things, and that is taken off like crazy. In fact, it is one of the products that is very successful in India with a bunch of really awesome companies like Verse and Mishu and others that are doing a lot with it. So that part is going well. And now we've transformed from being a database company to a data company. We have this really good situation where we are multi-cloud, we scale a lot, and we are not just talking about the database, we're talking about data for the enterprise. Everything around Web3 is now being questioned, right? Because the markets in the West are falling apart, inflation is high, everybody's like, what is crypto anymore? And 3 months ago, crypto was the hottest thing out there. So I think Web3 is here to stay. I think blockchain, from what it started, was here to stay. I think real time is really important for Web3, right? Because if you really think about it, smart contracts are it is real, and it's going to happen. But in the smart contracts world, there's a off-chain aspect to it as well. And that happens in real time, because if you take the real-timeness off of Web3, then it's like Web 2 or Web 1, right? And so this offline has to be, has to merge with the speed at which the online is working. And so products like Astra play a significant role in there, right? The second thing is, making sure the blockchain, it's going to sound really simple, it's queryable, analytics, insights, not very easy to do, right? So how do you make the blockchain, which is, by the way, publicly accessible, how do you make it available in a way that people can use it to make decisions, right? To bring the insights and things like that. So that's the second piece. And the third piece is payments, right? They need to happen in real time. You cannot say, you did work for me, but I'm going to pay you 2 days later. That is not how Web3 works. So we think real time is a big aspect of Web3. We've done 3 things. How do we make it easy for developers, right? And so we've added an API layer to it and said, let's do, come with REST, come with JSON, come with, gRPC, come with GraphQL, and we'll just make it easy. So that's one. The second thing is we made it a service. You don't have to manage it. So when you're doing all this inter-cloud complexity, it just works. But then the third thing we've done is we've separated storage and compute. And with serverless, you have tremendous TCO. So you're not provisioning to peak. You're not saying, my load goes up at 7 o'clock, and so I'm going to keep all my compute and my storage revved up to that. So that gives us a tremendous advantage, and we have bought that to Apache Cassandra, and we are bringing that to Apache Pulsar. Are you building a product that developers love? And are you building a product that enterprises need? Right? So there's a love and need part because the enterprises pay you money for it, the developers use the product. So we start there. It is very clear that all companies in the world, all are going through a digital transformation journey. What are the three phases? Mobile was the first phase, second one was cloud, the third one is data. As you go through this journey, you realize that a lot of large companies love the benefits of cloud, but they want to make sure that they have a chance to work with multiple clouds. We are trying to cater to enterprises who want that optionality. Two different things came together really well. One is we had a database, and you start by saying you want to put information into the database and you want to get it out. In technical words, that's called CDC, right? Change data capture. And so you, when I first came to DataStax, there was a massive overlap between Kafka and Cassandra. And so we went and looked at that and said, you know, our customers would like CDC from us because they have the database from us. How do they get information in, information out? The second thing was we also had an opportunity we understand middleware and APIs really well. If you look at the background of the leadership team, we understand that space. As I sometimes say, we don't have 10,000 hours, we may have 100,000 hours there, right? So we brought that together and said the best way for us to go into expanding our footprint was to go from data at rest to data in motion. Because at the end of the day, the developer doesn't care whether it is in a stream or whether it's in a database. All they care about is access to data for the app that they're building. So we are preparing ourselves for going through the US word, early innings, right, or early overs in India, right? But we know that this is a long way to go. We're still in the first or second over, if it might be, right? So we are preparing ourselves to make sure. We think everything we're doing will apply to Web3 as things go forward. Our four values are obsess about developers and culture and enterprises, be an owner, execute thoughtfully with speed, and create a diverse and inclusive work environment. Why? Because if you do those four, we will create the right environment. And that environment should be the best professional environment people have ever had. But at the end of the day, when that part is done, the second piece is we have to always pace the companies that we work with, because we have a bunch of really smart people that know how to build great products. We test them out. It's very stable. Our goal is to get our enterprises to move faster, because the faster they go through their virtuous cycle, right? Not vicious cycle, virtuous cycle. They go through the virtuous cycle, the more successful they are. So our challenges, if you may, are making sure we are constantly working on the culture of the company, right? To make it a phenomenal place for people to excel. And then the second thing is continue to provide products that increase the speed at which companies execute. Lots of future growth plans. So we have enough we have enough of a vision that we can be building product with 5 times the engineering team for the next 10 years. So we have a good view on how this will all work out in a big way. But at the end of the day, if developers love our product and enterprises buy it, we will get all the growth we need. Our investments will always be on the product side because we think that's what matters. But the go-to-market side is something where we're putting a lot of investment. We're investing a lot in APAC, we're investing a lot in Europe, we're investing a lot in Latin America, we're doing so in the Americas. But I'm very excited about Asia Pac because it is the fastest growing region for us. And India is like taking off in a massive way. So I'm expecting this to be a very, very hot region for us.